Welcome back, brothers and sisters. Braden, Tim, Second Legacy. You are amazing, and oh my goodness, do we have a show for you. And this show, Tim told the future again. It's amazing. He looked at his crystal balls, he saw what was coming, and announced it months ahead of time, because no man can anticipate gun controllers like Tim can, except when he goes on the internet and gets even better stuff. But that's another thing for another time. As we go into this, mass shootings, grand theft auto, larceny. Oh, it's not a good thing, not a good look. But make sure you guys are enjoying this content. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. Tim, we are about to have an adventure together. And I know you're going blind. I got to tell you guys honest, I haven't told him yet because I want to get the raw reaction for you guys. This is going to be great.
How'd you know I was going blind?
No, you're not going blind. Not you.
I know.
We're going in blind. We're flying blind.
I'm just kidding.
Dang it, Tim. Dang
All
it.
right.
I know. All right, let me walk you through this story, and you just start to scream when you start to realize something pretty crazy. Okay, so this is number 5, Dr. Slides. We're just going to open up. This is not the fun part. This sucks. All right, check this out. 4 children, ages 11 to 13, shot in Minneapolis while riding in stolen car. Police chief called the incident outrageous and said young people stealing cars are getting caught up in other serious crimes. And as you can see from the date, this is August 18th. So this happened 2 days ago. So in Minneapolis, which is in Minnesota, very important state, Tim, because you know who else is from Minnesota?
Who?
Tim Walz, the VP selection for Kamala Harris.
He's from Minnesota? Oh, that guy.
Yeah, yes. You nailed
What is
it.
that anyway? No,
I don't know. Doesn't matter. You know, what are you going to do? He's so coachy and folksy.
They had Ashley Biden at the DNC doing the same thing. She's going. I thought the Trump dance was bad.
Oh,
I don't know. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Anyway, yeah, that's that guy. It's the communist in flannel, as I like to call him. Well, that's this area. So we've got 11 and 13-year-olds stealing cars and going on joy rides. And I got news clips to show you and everything. This is a really not great thing, except what's so fascinating, Tim. Hey, do you remember when gun controllers, what would they do when there was shootings? They would always say, which manufacturer's fault was it?
Yeah.
Gun manufacturers, right?
Well, yeah, they blame the manufacturers. They blame marketing. They blame the availability. They blame YouTubers. They just blame everybody.
Everybody else,
but
right?
the criminal. They will not blame the criminal. Never blame the criminal.
No, don't blame the criminal. That's a rule. No. You can't do that.
Yeah, that's
racist.
That's
bad.
Yes.
It's bad. It's all sorts of things. It's all sorts of
things.
It
could be misogynistic. It just depends, but yes.
It's true. It depends if you have your buckets of white privilege. There's lots of things. There's a lot of alchemy you have to figure out. So this is number 6, Dr. Slides. And I just want to give a little bit more detail before I go to the Attorney General of Minnesota. 4 children in a stolen car between the ages of 11 and 13 suffered gunshot injuries early Sunday morning during a mass shooting in North Minneapolis. So the reason I want to put this part in here is more the control verbiage. A mass shooting during grand theft larceny and grand theft auto. While kids have boosted cars, there's criminal behavior. Other criminals are shooting at them. That's now mass shootings.
Wait a minute.
Isn't that interesting?
They're trying to get everything all lumped together here because now the sentence makes no sense. 4 children in a stolen car between the ages of 11 and 13 suffered gunshot injuries early Sunday morning during a mass shooting. So are they saying they stole the car and somehow they drove it into a mass shooting? Are they saying that the children were involved in the mass shooting? They were the mass shooting.
They were the victim
They were
of the
doing
mass
the shooting.
They were the victim of the mass shooting, according to this. Because during their grand theft auto and during their joyride when they're 11 and 13 years old,
it's just a joy ride?
It's a joyride. That's Kamala Harris.
Oh,
yeah,
joy. Kind of like
joy.
Yeah, I think the Nazis had a
the
party
Nazis.
of joy too. The
Nazis did. Joy and exuberance into communism. Yeah, exactly. Or socialism, rather, in this case. But so now that we've established the groundwork, you see where we're at. There's grand theft auto. There's mass shootings. There's children underage. All right. Here is what the Attorney General, a Democrat from Minnesota, said. This is number 8. This is the payoff for you, Tim. The individuals who shot these children must be held accountable. I will also keep holding Kia and Hyundai accountable for making their vehicles easy to steal and refusing to do anything meaningful about it. It won't stop until they do the right thing. Does that...
He is responsible for the shooting now. Yeah, so I did call this.
And for the stealing. You did call it.
I did call this. Yep, yeah. So, forks and spoons make people fat. It isn't you stuffing your face. Yes. Kia is now responsible for mass shootings and car thefts because they have a problem with thieves stealing their products.
Exactly. Exactly.
But this is consistent in one way, Braden, and that is it's never the criminal that's at fault here.
No,
it's Kia.
exactly.
It's the gun. It's the situation. It's everybody else's fault and every inanimate object's fault except the criminal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You nailed it. And if you thought your blood was about to boil out of your head so far, wait until I show you the news clip from the area, because that's coming too. But yeah, I really wanted to set up camp on how similar the Democratic AG, Keith Ellison, is in his approach to guns and his approach to cars. As you mentioned, it's so interesting because you and I on this channel months ago were in a joking fashion saying, yeah, well, cars get stolen. Yeah, blame the car manufacturers. A few moments later, here we go.
That's what they do. Yeah.
This is an actual tweet. It's still up.
If this isn't evidence of absolute lunacy, I don't know what else is. I mean, anybody that has an IQ larger than their own shoe size would look at this and go, wow, that's a very odd story. That's a very odd take on what transpired. But no, on the left, they're like, yes, let's hold Kia accountable for these murders of children.
Yep,
you mean the children stealing cars, running around getting in gunfights? Those children.
Yes, but there's really good news, though, because none of the children died, which is a positive. So there was only injury. So that is a positive.
Well, are they gonna applaud Kia and Hyundai now? Because there were no deaths, or is that not their response? It's only
Remember,
only their fault
their
if something bad happens. It's not their fault if something good happens or nothing bad happens. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, you got it. You're right. You're right over the target. It's their fault if someone else steals the cars off the street. It's Hyundai and Kia's fault because they are intentionally making the vehicles easy to steal. Guys, zoom out. Like, where are we? Oh my God.
So,
yeah, what?
When I was in high school during the Civil War, stealing horse-drawn carriages was very easy to do. You just walked up and jumped in. Yeah, no, but seriously, back in the 80s and 90s and even into the early 2000s, a lot of these cars are still on the roads. You know what's really easy to steal?
What?
Just about any car made before 1995. I mean, seriously, slim jimming, like modern cars are very resistant to slim jimming in most cases, right? There's all sorts of new features in these new cars that weren't present in cars that were made in the 80s, 90s, even early 2000s before modern security measures. So them saying that these cars are too easy to steal because I guess they're messing with electronics or something like that. Mm-hmm. Have you never seen, I knew people that got in trouble when I was in high school for stealing cars. They would just literally walk up with a piece of sheet metal they had made a Slim Jim out of, slide it down the door, pop it, jump in, pop the key thing out of the steering column, cross a couple wires, and off they go. And they thought it was funny. That's easy to steal. But nobody back then, for some reason, was saying, gee, I wish Pontiacs weren't so easy to steal. We need to hold Pontiac accountable for their cars being stolen.
Manufacturers.
Because Pontiac and Kia and Hyundai here are enabling criminals by making their cars too easy to steal, and they're at fault, not the criminal.
Nailed it. Just like Glock. Just like Glock, man. They're making their guns too easy to convert into machine guns by criminals. It's their fault. It's their fault, 100%. These people have a brain virus.
Yeah, it's called the leftist mind virus.
Dude, this is insane. I mean, anyway. So now that I've laid it out and shown you how your crystal balls predicted the future, let me show you something else that is just I can't wait to hear what you think about this one. This is an actual news story from the area. We're going to divide it up into two parts. Dr. Slides, I'll tell you when to stop it right in the middle so we can break it down and go into the next one. But this is an actual clip from a local news agency regarding this exact same thing. Listen to this. This is number 7.
One car chasing another car with fully automatic gunfire. It just shows really brazen and callous behavior. They don't care about their own lives, let alone the lives of other people.
Turning now to our top story, 4 minors between the ages of 11 and 13 injured by fully automatic gunfire in Minneapolis, one of them critically. Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara saying the minors were riding in a stolen Kia when a sedan began following them and then opened fire.
Randy Meyer joining us now from our Fox 9 Live Center. And so, Randy, the chief saying this is part of a, quote, tremendous problem right now.
Yeah, Kelsey, those are his words, and the chief is not mincing his words and explaining the problem tonight either, saying while fewer cars are being stolen, those cars that are being stolen are connected to more and more serious crimes, particularly among minors. Now, this shooting happened near West Broadway and Girard Avenue around.
All right. So, Tim, you get the idea. They're kind of reiterating some of the things that we covered in this article already and a few other sources, right? But did you notice that she said particularly minors? Did you catch that?
Yes.
Okay. That's a really important thing that you had to fully emphasize as we go into this next clip, okay? And this one, we're going to play the rest out and just tell me what stands out to you, okay? The minors part. All right, go again.
1 a.m. this morning. A total of 5 minors were riding in a stolen Kia when a sedan began following that stolen Kia and shooting at that vehicle with fully automatic gunfire. 2 boys and 1 girl were taken to the hospital with injuries they will survive, while another girl, just 12 years old, suffered a gunshot wound to the head in critical condition tonight.
4 kids shot between 11 and 14 is outrageous, and everyone should be up in arms over it.
Now, the 5th minor, an 11-year-old boy, was detained after police discovered the Kia was stolen. However, under Minnesota law, he could not be charged because of his age, so he was released without consequences. Chief O'Hara says, further troubling, 2 of the minors involved in this incident were arrested less than 2 weeks ago for being inside a different stolen vehicle.
We have to take the fun out of it. You know, when you get caught joyriding in a stolen car, especially if it's multiple times, there needs to be a consequence. And I feel like that's where we have failed here.
No further description or information about that sedan involved in this shooting tonight. As of right now, there have been no arrests. We will continue to track this developing story and bring you the update.
I can't imagine what's causing the problem. It's weird.
Yeah. You know, it's these poor miners are just out joyriding. Such a nice phrase. We're just out joyriding, having a good time, being joyful, getting ready to vote for Harris. And suddenly this other car pulls up and sprays them with machine gun fire. Maybe these innocent little victims that they're trying to paint here were involved in gang violence, perhaps. I'm sure
some other criminal activity.
Or maybe it was the other car that they didn't steal from the victim that just chased them down and decided to get a little vengeance. But it's not the children's fault, folks. I mean, good grief, they're just out joyriding, having a good time. And then they got sprayed by gunfire, and it's Kia's fault.
Nailed it. Dude, you, as always, your synopsis on point. Good Lord. You know, we can't talk about the fact that these were 11 through 13-year-old kids out at
that weren't charged with any crime, by the way.
Right.
And they'd been doing this a lot, apparently.
Yep, apparently. So we're 1 a.m., 11, 13-year-olds, right? You have them stealing cars for Grand Theft Auto. Then you have a full auto machine gun assault in a gun control state. Because remember, Tim Walz figured out how to get guns off the streets. Common sense gun reform. Remember that, Tim?
Yes.
And then you've got the city of Minneapolis and the state of Minnesota who have laws that say if you're under a certain age, you can't catch charges for anything. And then you have kids who have been involved 2 weeks ago in the exact same offense, again let out, and now there's no one in jail with no accountability, no consequences whatsoever. And you'll wonder why this keeps happening. It's because Kia and HYUNDAI have made their cars too easy to steal, Tim. That's it.
Yep. You got to do something about these imports, you know?
God, we do.
Maybe it's a Trump tariff or something that can slow this crime wave down they're responsible for. I mean, they're corrupting our children, Braden. I mean, how dare they tempt children with cars? And this officer wants to take the joy out of joyriding? What is wrong with him?
There's so much joy.
Can we have no fun? I mean, who doesn't want to go on a joyride in somebody else's car while somebody else is spraying you with machine gun fire?
At 1 a.m. I mean, goodness.
Yeah.
11 to 13.
But, you know, here's the other thing. So let's say these children had stolen a gun. What would that same officer be saying? We need to prosecute the parents.
That's actually true. That's right? Very true. It's a good point.
Why aren't we prosecuting the parents for letting their kids run around at 1 a.m. stealing cars every weekend?
Interesting.
I don't want that done, but seriously.
I know you don't.
What I'm saying, I'm trying to show the hypocrisy of these clowns.
Yes. Tongue in cheek, 100% with you. So overall, Tim, remember what Attorney General Keith Ellison said? He's going after the car manufacturers because they need to be more responsible.
We need to shut them down. You know, I'm telling you, the Trump tariffs would fix all this.
These people are so insane. Oh my God, dude. Like if it wasn't the uber threat of this actually coming on a national level, it would be a lot funnier of how stupid this guy's comments were. Yeah. But like this is literally what they are saying that they want to do to the entire nation.
Yeah. And half the population is like, wow, We need to listen to this officer.
So much joy.
You know,
so much joy and
the
happiness.
stupid has taken control, Braden. We are now being governed by stupid.
It's got the joystick and it's just going to town. But anyway, I just wanted to let that out. It's the cars.
Well, thanks anyway.
That
was quite joyous. I mean, who doesn't enjoy a good, joyful story like that? I just hope that, President Harris, should she become president, will crack down on these outrageous crimes being committed by these auto manufacturers.
Yes, that's what's going to happen.
We need to do it to save the children, right?
All the children.
So anyway, thank you for watching Second Legacy. We'll talk to you guys soon.